Good morning friends, this is Durga again from IT University, a one-stop shop to learn all the technologies. At this time we are talking about MongoDB for developers getting started series, and as of now we are talking about CRUD operations. So far we have seen create and read, and as part of this video I will be talking about update and delete. So if you look into the syntax of the update by going to the official MongoDB documentation, it looks like this. So it takes three parameters: query, update, and some control arguments which will control the behavior of the query. So first we will talk about query. So as part of the query, so typically if you think about any update statement, you say update in traditional RDBMSs, you say update table name, set column names, where, and then you will give the filter condition. So as part of the query, you have to apply the filter condition to fetch the matching records. And update, you have to pass on the set operator where you want to set multiple fields as part of the update statement, similar to the traditional RDBMS. On top of that, these three control arguments will actually try to control the behavior of your update statement. So the first one is multi. Multi, if you don't set it, by default it is 0, which means that it will try to update only one record even if the query matches multiple records. So that's the purpose of multi. If you want to update many records in one shot, you can use multi colon 1, which means you are trying to say that update all the records which matches the criteria. And the second important one is upset. So typically sometimes when the match does not happen, you want to insert. If the match happens, you want to delete. It is called as merge in some of the databases, some of the traditional databases. If you want to simulate this, that behavior in MongoDB, you have to set this upset to true. So if when you run the query, when you run this command, update command, if the query does not match any rows, then if upset is 1, it will try to insert the record which is specified as part of the update. If the query matches the records, it will try to update all or one or all the records depending upon the multi is set to true or false. Okay, now we will quickly demonstrate how to use this update statement. But before writing the update statement, I will always recommend you to use find and write the valid query which will retrieve the actual records that needs to be updated, because in case of Mongo, update is atomic, there is no commit or rollback. If you update or insert or delete the data, it will be persisted permanently. There is no concept of rolling back in Mongo. So you need to write a query which will match the criteria and get the correct results. Then only you should embed that query as part of the update statement. So in this case, what I want to do is let us define a problem statement to implement this one. So I want to identify all the employees whose commission percent is less than or equal to 10, or if the commission percent does not exist. If either of the criteria satisfies, then I want to update the commission percent to 12. Otherwise, I want to leave it as is. So in this case, for the employee, this employee with ID this one and employee number 1, and ID this one and employee number 2, I want to change commission percent to 12%, and this one will remain same. So for that, first I need to use this. I need to get a correct query which will only retrieve these two records, but not this one. Okay, so that you can say, you can write query like this: db.employees find, and here I want to get all the employees whose commission percent is less than or equal to 10, or there is no commission percent for the corresponding employee. So I have to use OR operator here. Okay, so let me start in a new line. So I have to start with OR operator. As part of the OR operator, here OR actually takes multiple conditions. So those conditions should be passed in square brackets. Okay, because if you want to pass multiple things in Mongo, it is typically a list. The square brackets here represent the list. So we are actually providing the list of conditions which needs to be applied with OR operator. So OR, and here we can give as many conditions as we want on which OR operator needs to be applied. So the first one is, again we have to give multiple things here. So commission %, so there is an operator called exists. So to retrieve this record, where we want to check if commission % does not exist, I want to retrieve. For that we have to use exists operator. Exists, okay, and 0 if you don't want, if you want to check if it does not exist. If you want to retrieve the records only if commission % exists, then you have to change it to 1. Okay, then this whole query is, or whole condition is completed, and now I have to use comma and add more conditions here. So the second condition will be commission %, and here I want to check whether the commission percentage is less than or equal to 10%. For that there is the operator called LTE. For less than you have to use LT, for greater than you have to use GT, for greater than or equal to GTE, and here we are using less than or equal to, so it is LTE operator. And here I want to compare with 10, and then two mustache or curly braces to match with this one and this one. Okay, now we have passed all the conditions as part of the list. So close the list and then close the OR operator and then hit enter. We have to close the find command also using circular bracket. So you can see that now we got employee number 1 and employee number 2 here, and using this condition I want to apply the update statement. Sorry, apply the commission % to 12 for these 2 records. So now I will copy this one, paste it here, delete these additional lines, okay. So using this I want to update. So update takes the query. So here query is this one, and then it takes additional parameters. The second parameter is the set operator. Okay, so you have to say $set. It will be easy to modify if there is any others later. So I am actually using the Sublime Text, which is a editor in which is a good editor. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit. View, where is the zoom? Okay, that's fine. Let me. So it is not working, so I am not sure how to zoom. I will look into it later. I will explain once the operation, once the command is finished. So here I am using set operator. It's pretty straightforward. I want to set commission % to 12. Okay, and then I want to update all the records in one shot. So I have to pass on the control arguments also. In this case, I have to use multi operator, and I have to set it to 1. Okay, so yeah, multi 1. So in this case, this condition is applicable only if the row is present, otherwise it does not applicable. So upset is not required here. Upset is only to merge the data. And now we can actually run this command. You can see that 2 records are matched and 2 are modified. We can also quickly validate by saying db.employees.find.pretty. You can see that now the employee number 1 have commission person 12 and employee number 2 also have commission person 12. So and now if upset is very straightforward, you can just say db.employees.update and for id underscore 4 it does not exist. So you can or you can also say employee number 4, that is the query, and if you run this query it does not return anything. So let's do find here first. So I use find, it does not return anything. Now as part of the update using that query, I am trying to set the commission. Okay, commission percent to 12. Okay, and hit enter. Now you can see it is saying upset 0, matched 0 and modified 0, and if you try to find, it will not fetch anything. Now if I say, if I give the control argument in the third as the third parameter and pass upset to 1 and hit enter, now you can see that one row upsetted and a new object ready is generated. And now if I say find employee number 4, it is not retrieving anything. That's weird. So db dot employees dot find pretty. Okay, so it only uses the fields that are part of the set operator, and it will try to add those things to the collection when you use upset. So when I actually say update like this, it does not use employee number 4 as part of the update statement. So here what you have to do is, if you want to insert even the employee number, you have to use both employee number 4 comma commission percent. Now again a new record is upsetted, and now if I do find with employee number 4, we can see the data, and if you see find pretty on all the data, you can see both the records. Where is this one? I could not find this record. Yeah, here. So this is the last one where we did not pass the employee number as part of the update statement. Next one we have used the employee number also as part of the update statement, and you can see this here. Now using this data, if you just want to delete this record using the not this one, this. Yeah, I want to delete this record. So it's very straightforward. I can use this ID, and there is a delete operator or delete function, db.employees.delete. So there is delete many and delete one. There is no delete command itself. So either you have to use delete one or delete many, then only it will work. So in this case, I would like to use delete one, and here we just have to give the query. So even before deleting the data, you have to make sure that you got the right query while deleting the data. So I am using underscore ID I copied both ID and object ID, so I can actually delete this one, go to the end, close the mustache bracket and circular bracket and hit enter. Now you can see that one record is deleted. Okay, and now if I say DB employees ready, that record is no more. Okay, and if I want to delete all the employees whose commission percent is greater than 15, I have to first write the valid query db.employees.find, and also if you want to check again if the commission percentage is present and greater than or equal to 15%, then only if you want to delete, again you have to use the OR operator the way we have used earlier, but in this case I will try to keep it simple. So I want to find all the employees whose commission percentage is greater than or equal to 15. You can see there is ID 3 for whom commission percentage is 15, and if I want to delete, I can just replace find with delete. Delete one or delete many. Delete one will only delete one record even if there is it matches multiple records. If you want to use delete to delete all the records, then you have to use delete many. Hit enter. Now you can see that one record is deleted. So that wraps up the basic CRUD operations: create, read, update, and delete. You have to make sure you can write these queries very fast. As long as you understand the syntax and how to perform more complex operations, you can easily build the skills of using the operations like greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, Boolean operators such as OR and AND. So using different examples, I have covered so many other concepts also, not just basics. So if you follow my videos thoroughly and if you practice, you not only understand the CRUD, basic create, read, update, and delete, but also different filtering options that are available out of the box of Mongo. And using these skills, you need to build you need to build the knowledge about dealing with data in Mongo, which is internally represented as documents as part of the collections. That being said, I hope you are enjoying the content on the channel. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you want to provide the feedback, please use the comment section of the video. If you want to discuss further about big data, please join my LinkedIn group called ITversity-Big Data. And finally, if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. And also recently I have started a website called www.itversity.com. Go here and you will find many courses over time, and it will try to make your learning process simplified. And you can go to the self-paced courses here, and you can find the MongoDB course here as well. So all these videos will be added to that, and all the relevant code will be placed as part of that course. You can click on this and see the existing videos, existing lessons for setting up the MongoDB architecture, CRUD operations, etc. So everything will be covered as we move further. That being said, thank you very much. Bye.